Exmoor National Park lies on the Bristol Channel, and it is a very, very high coastline, some of the highest cliffs in England. If you're going to walk it, it is tough and you do need to plan and think about it. But the rewards to get down to some of these little beaches at somewhere like Woody Bay or Lee Bay are absolutely outstanding. We don't get the same sort of coastal winds as you may get off at the end of Cornwall. So it's quite sheltered, quite warm, often very mild. You get a lot of migrant butterflies feeding on all the valerian and buddleia, which tends to occur along this coastline. The real hot spots for rock pooling are Porlock Weir, Ilfracombe, Woody Bay and Heddon's Mouth. Porlock Weir's a huge shingle bank laid down about 6,000 years ago. This is a tall wooden post marking the channel leading into the Porlock Weir harbour. When the tide's right in, these posts, two at the front and one here, mark the route of the channel. One of the big things about looking for intertidal or marine wildlife is to try and follow the tide down to its lowest point, because at the lowest point of the tide you find an awful lot more wildlife. This is one of the seaweeds that you might find at Porlock Weir. This rather strange looking slimy thing is actually called lava, and you may well have heard of something called lava bread, very much a Welsh speciality, but that's what goes into making lava bread, and it doesn't look much but it actually tastes quite, it's a bit rubbery, but it's quite interesting. The big thing to remember, of course, is that you want to be watching out for not getting caught by an incoming tide. So knowing the tide times and what's happening is really important. This is quite an interesting thing. This is a keeled worm. So inside that hard white case is an individual worm. There's another one living there. And as it grows, it extends its protective shell. That's about as big as they go. And it's actually a triangular shaped case. It's flat along the bottom and it goes to a point along the top. This one is called pink paintweed. It's one of the red seaweeds, but it grows as a fairly tough encrusting mat on the rocks. It's absolutely beautiful. This is one of the commonest sea shells or sea snails that you're going to find on Exmoor's coast. That's a top shell and that's a periwinkle. One of the big differences between these two is that the top shells all have a mother of pearl inside, which I think you can see shining there. This is really interesting. This is a chiton sea snail, but it's actually got an articulated shell. So instead of being hard and solid like a limpet, it's made up of plates. It's often called the coat of mail snail, like a knight's coat of mail. One thing to remember if you are down on the beach looking for creatures in rock pools or perhaps turning stones over is that this is their home, this is their habitat, and it's really quite a big deal if you don't actually put the stone back. So if you do invade them, put things back as you found them.